Some people wouldn't believe it if they didn't see it firsthand. Ticker symbol AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, is currently $237 at the time of this recording. It's moving between 235 and 237. However, it's up 11% on a day. And what's going on? They're saying that OpenAI is doing a deal with them for $100 billion, or getting 10% of their company, and they're up 43% in the last week. You heard about that. That happened a few days ago. However, them being up 46% this week, you know what? We up over 90% on it. We knew to get in before the rest of Wall Street got in. I want to give a shout out to the family. And we're up 96% just on the shares, not the stock options, not anything like that, just straight up shares. I want to give a salute to everybody, and let me know what stocks you made money with in the comments below, because this week has been an absolute beast. And the CEO of NVIDIA, hold up, let me start and say this. Make sure you talk to a licensed financial advisor in your area. Investing carries risk. Yes, you run the risk of potentially getting in something like AMD and making 96%. Yes, you run the risk of getting a high annual return if the stock market is pumping up, but you also run the risk of losing money if you don't know what you're doing. So make sure you talk to a licensed financial advisor in your area. YouTube, don't take the video down. I'm just trying to help the people to learn. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen, he downplayed the AMD rivalry, and they're saying that he just said that they're two very different companies. And with that being said, that was actually good news for AMD. Both of these companies make computer chips, but this is good news. Why? Because AMD can't really compete with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is like in a whole different league. So now that Jensen Huang, who is basically the top of NVIDIA, the leader, the CEO, and the founder, he's saying that AMD is a completely different company. They're doing a different thing. He's basically giving you the insight and telling you that, no, they're not even in the same lane. That means the lane that AMD is in is still a fruitful one where it can still push up. AMD just got some crazy price targets on them. DZ Bank, they just said it's going to 250. Citi, they actually started hating and said it's going to 215. They said, yo, stop it with this. And then Wells Fargo said it's going to 275, and then Evercore said it's going to 240. So the high majority of the price targets are significantly higher than they are. But us, we were buying this way before all of them. And even I sent out my most recent buy alert, and this one was to get it at 166. We've been playing the options. We've been playing the shares. We've been making a lot of money with AMD, and I'm looking to make more going forward. So I always tell you, trade with the chart and not with your heart. What do I mean by that? I mean, look at the technical analysis. You want to be precise. You want to be like a sniper. Technically, in my opinion, though, I will say that AMD is worthy of dollar cost averaging and setting on an automatic investment. I personally believe that. But for those of you who are looking for the pullbacks, one space that it like to pull back on is about 230. Another space that it could potentially pull back on is about 212. But I told you in previous videos, sometimes you want to get on something and it's already pushing up and it's not coming back every time to these levels that you might like it at. So then what you do in that case is you dollar cost average, aka you buy some on a regular interval, basically the same amount. But if it come down to your levels, then you load up even heavier. That's how people do it and have success, including myself. Here's another one that's on your radar, or if it's not, I'm putting it on there today, and it's Rocket Lab. This is ticker symbol RKLB. These can be found on the Moomoo app. You should download it. The link is in the top of the description. I highly encourage it. They showing me all of the bangers before they are even bangers. So I encourage you to be up on that so you can get access to information. The link is in the top of the description. Rocket Lab, this one, it says it's up 29% in the last week, but this one been pumping way longer than the last week, family. If you go and look it up yourself, you can see that this one is currently $65, but there's a previous resistance and actually two resistances at about the $50 range, $48 to be exact. And here's what's going on with them. Rocket Lab's shares are lifting on a new multi-mission satellite launch. Every time that these companies are sending so many different satellites into the world and sending them out into space, then what's happening is once they keep having more successful launches, other companies that need more satellites in the air, they want to work with them because they keep having successful launches and then they're being more efficient and they're getting more frequent with them. So this is a company that's continuously having success in this rocket space area. And for that reason, if you look on, like I told you, download all of these apps, family, so you can get the resources. If you look on the Robinhood app and you look at the analyst ratings, you can see 69% of them said buy, 31% of it said hold. Nobody says sell. But under that, it says trading trends. And you can look at the hedge funds or Wall Street, the institutional money, and they are loading up. Look at all the way on the right, the bars. There's a little bit of orange on the bottom, but it's a big green one on the top of it. This is showing you that the institutions are pouring money into this, and this is what's making it push up like that. Then I want to give another one to you. This one I got in, and then I got stopped out of it, and now I'm looking to get back into it. I use a stop loss for risk management. That's why you never see Keen and Grace losing crazy amounts of money. It's not because I'm just the biggest genius the world has ever seen. I'm one of the best risk managers that the world has ever seen, one of the best at the charts that the world has ever seen. So that means that I'm going to make sure that I can win big and not lose big. That's the key. And many of you are going to learn that. And I don't want you to learn it the hard way. However, some of you have already learned it the hard way, but it's good that you're rolling with me now so you can stop losing big and then start to win big. And sometimes your wins are going to be small too, but overall, we knocking it way out the park. NBIS. This is a $121 stock. It's up 3% on the day. I told you I got kicked out of it already, but I'm looking to reestablish a position. And this one is $110 at the support level that I like it at. However, like I told you, what if you can't get it at the support level because we still in this bull market for the rest of the year, like they call it the Santa Claus rally, and it ain't coming back? Then when you see stuff like that, that's when you get your toe wet, boom, dip your feet in the water. You dollar cost average, boom, you establish a position. Maybe you grab one, maybe you grab 10. But then when it come down to where you like it, that's when you really go harder. You go into your pocket, get the money bags out and say, boom, this is a better space that I like it at. And then you put your stop loss a few dollars under where you got in just to give it some wiggle room, but not so you have the ability to just drop it if this thing is crashing. And this is what this company does. They do AI infrastructure, but they do it on the cloud. And they say they have a full stack, meaning that you don't need to bring your own anything. They'll start you from the bottom up and have your AI company working like a charm. And they doing it online. So you could do it basically on the cloud, means you could do it over the internet. And they're saying this, they use large scale GPU services, meaning these big companies could actually use it. Your NVIDIAs, your Metas, your Microsofts, they can be a business partner or even a customer of this company. And then they're also saying that they're getting into helping to develop autonomous driving technology over the cloud, family. That's nuts. We love to see stuff like that. And this company has the ability to really make a whole lot of money going forward. There's never going to be a guarantee. However, since we know that, we know to be the risk managers, but we don't have fear. Because when you have that fear and you don't take action, that's when you look at all of these stocks that you've seen and you knew to get in, but then you just watch them run up and then you just waiting for them to come down forever. And then sometimes they don't come back to that level that you wanted them at. So you got to understand the game and be like a sniper. Shoot at the target when it's ready. The next one, this is an easy one. This is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. I believe that Apple is going to be a over $300 stock long term. It might not happen overnight, but we all waiting for Apple to really get busy in the artificial intelligence space. All of us have these iPhones in front of our face, these Apple computers, these MacBooks, and so on. So with that being said, Apple is poised to really knock it out of the park with all of this digital real estate that they have in front of all of our faces. Family, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And shout out to everybody who made money with me with AMD and the rest of them. I see y'all in the next one, family. If you want to support the channel, use the Moomoo link in the top of the description. And I see you over there, family. I love y'all and take care.